Ever feel like a fraud at work, in your relationship, shoot, in your own life? Here are 3 ways to help you overcome those imposter thoughts and stay grounded in the authentic and awesome you. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, go ahead and hit that button and the bell so you don't miss any of the new videos that I post about how to live a more fearless life. As a stress physiologist, I've dedicated my life to trying to understand the ways that our brain shows up in weird ways in this modern world. I'm excited to help you untangle this bizarre paradox known as the imposter syndrome. The first step in overcoming imposter syndrome is awareness. Actually recognizing when that imposter voice begins to sing. La 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 la. That's an imposter. Don't listen to that. In order to become aware of some of the thoughts that are just beneath that conscious level, meditation can be an incredibly powerful tool. Start small with just maybe 1 minute. Sit quietly with yourself and just listen to whatever comes up. You might be surprised at some of the things that you hear. And listen, when you hear some of those imposter thoughts bubble up to the surface, don't judge yourself. Remember, this is what we're here for, to hear those imposter thoughts, to recognize them so we can begin to change them. It'd be great if we could walk around in this meditative state at all times, but since most of us have, jobs and real life to attend to, I'd like to use another trick. I call it an awareness alarm. If you've ever set an alarm clock to wake up in the mornings, you've probably realized that you start to wake up just a few minutes before that alarm clock goes off. That's awesome, because what that means is that you've trained your brain to become conscious at a particular time. Sweet, we can use that exact same training while we're already awake to eke out this much more conscious time in order to start routing out that imposter. Here's how it works. This week, I want you to set 5 alarms to go off throughout the day at regularly scheduled intervals. When the alarm clock goes off, turn the alarm off, take a deep breath, and just check in with yourself. What stories am I telling right now? What's popping up for me? Now you're ready for the second step in overcoming imposter thoughts. Now that you're hearing them or catching them in the act, the second step is to define them. In this case, it's really important to ask, is this a fact or is this a feeling? Our brains naturally try to make sense of our feelings by asking the question, why? And that starts this spiral of explanations of facts that aren't really necessarily true. For example, I'm not cut out to be leading at this level because I don't know the answer, because I never get it right, because you're always failing, because... What? These are not facts. These are poorly disguised feelings of fear. Being able to separate feelings from facts is essential in order to take power back over your imposter and control your own emotional agenda. Just because you feel something does not make that feeling a fact. What are some of the imposter facts that your brain says to you all the time? For me, I struggled for a long time with feeling like I was unworthy. This feeling masqueraded as a fact all the time. I never felt like I was good enough. I had to go prove myself. It took me a while to understand that this feeling was not a fact. Comment below and let me know what facts you need help sorting out. In order to begin sorting these facts from feelings, it's helpful to objectively try proving your feeling as a fact. Try to actually make the case that your brain is right. It's telling you that you are an imposter and it's correct because here's all the proof to back it up. My guess is you'll come up short. But don't let that stop you from trying. Ask yourself, well, how am I not qualified? What does make me a loser? How have I not gotten it right in the past? Write these down as a list and make a note. How many of these are opinions, yours or others, and how many of these are actual statements of fact? Remember, in this exercise, we're looking for just the facts. In the next step, become a detective to find evidence that does not actually support these imposter accusations. Look through your achievements, your professional records, your skill sets, the problems that you've solved. Begin writing these lists of accomplishments down as well as a counterbalance to the imposter accusations. Now, with both lists, you're ready to move on to the third and final step in overcoming imposter syndrome. Step 3, it's decision time. You need to decide to tell yourself a different story. Take a look at the 2 lists. Decide which is more factually supported. Then tell yourself the story consciously, actively, that your brain needs to hear. Your brain believes the story you tell it. Make sure you're telling your brain the most accurate story. Tell yourself the story that you need to hear and watch your conscious mind take it from there. Trust me, you won't be worse off staying stuck in that story of stress and anxiety and imposter syndrome that makes you panic and anxious and raises your cortisol levels, and now you're underachieving at work and now you're proving yourself true, and that's a vicious cycle to stay stuck in. It's time you prove yourself right with a better narrative. Even if you don't believe the story you're telling yourself at first. Like, Rebecca, you are confident, you're powerful, you're going to nail this presentation. Turns out, it doesn't matter. Side note, you may have noticed that I started talking to myself in the third person there. If you want the scoop on what I'm doing there and how most people get positive affirmations wrong, check out the link below. But for now, know this. Even if you don't believe the story that you're telling in the moment, science has shown that it still increases your confidence, your performance, and your persuasive ability. So give it a shot. What have you got to lose? If you're struggling with negativity and fear in your own life, I'd love to help you move into a more authentic, confident space. Reach out to me directly or take the Imposter Syndrome quiz and download some more tips and tricks to help you overcome the imposter syndrome. Be sure to check out the video that I referenced about positive affirmations and how you may be doing more harm than good. You can find the link in the description below, and until next time, live more, fear less.